What's happening, fantasy world? It's your boy, Soupy. And I'm coming to you live with our top 5 starts. It's playoff time, week 16. Yeah, we're going to talk about it. Do not set those lineups until you hear these top 5 starts. Boy, I got some shit cooking. And our number 1 start. This is a guy that you must get in your lineups in week 16 if you want to fantasy win. Jaxon Smith-Njigba. Going against Minnesota this week, ranked 32nd in the league, giving up points to fantasy receivers. Did y'all hear me? Last in the league. They are giving up the most points to fantasy receivers in week 16. It will happen again. Being featured in Seattle's offense in the last game, this man just had 12 targets. That's his second biggest target total of the year. Averaging 101 yards in the last 6 games with 4 touchdowns in that same time frame. Did y'all hear what I said? 6 games, this man is averaging 101 yards per game. He needs to be in lineups. Minnesota is giving up 245 yards per game, ranked 29th in the league through the air. Minnesota on the offensive side is also putting up 26.4 points per game. They're in the top 8 in the league in scoring. Geno is going to have to pass to stay in this game. Jaxon Smith-Njigba in week 16, 14 targets, 9 receptions, 117 yards, and a touchdown. 20.2 fantasy points. If you want to win this week, get jiggy with Njigba. And our second player that we have got to get in our lineups this week, this one gonna hurt me. I'm going against one of my best friends. I'm talking about one of my best friends in life, Obino Coley. Y'all have heard the name several times from the gambling bets we've been having going on this season. And boy, we got a big one going down this Sunday. And it hurts because this man has James Conner. Oh, it hurts. And I got to give it up, man. James Conner versus Carolina. Carolina's ranked last in the league and giving up points to running backs this year. Check out these stats. Carolina giving up 173 rushing yards per game. That's average. That's out of the 14 games they played this year. They are giving up 173 yards on the ground per game. I got an even better stat. Last game, they just gave up 211 yards. Hold up. I got one even worse. In the last 3 games, they've given up 218 yards on the ground per game. Did y'all not just hear what I said? The word is out. You can run all up and down the field on Carolina Panthers. Nothing changes in week 16. James Conner in the last 2 games has rushed for 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. And to add that, 9 receptions, PPR points, and 60 yards through the air. That's 130 yards per game in the last 2 games. James Conner, they are feeding the beast. James Conner goes off for 23 touches, 149 yards, and 2 tutties in week 16. Good for 28.9 fantasy points. He will be a top 3 running back, man. You heard it from the soup. James Conner turns into Thanos in week 16. Yeah. Boy, we hot right now, D. Howard, baby. We hot. Our number 3 player that you have got to get in your lineups in week 16 is going to be Baker Mayfield. Oh, yes, sir. Right here in Tampa Bay, baby. That's where I reside. Even though I'm not a Bucs fan, man, y'all know what it is. Bear down. Baker Mayfield versus Dallas, ranked 28th in the league versus the quarterback and giving up fantasy points this year. That's right. There are only 4 teams that are worse. Giving up 1.5 TDs per game with Baker throwing the ball, I see 2 at least. Tampa Bay ranked 4th in points. They are forcing 28.8 points. Listen, they are forcing 4 touchdowns a game. Okay, whether or not one of those be on the defense, regardless, that's what I'm saying. The Tampa Bucks are scoring 4 TDs per game. Did y'all just hear what I said? Dallas ranked 21st, giving up 220 yards through the air per game. Over the last 4 games, Baker Mayfield is averaging 278 yards through the air and 2 TDs in his last 4 games. Averaging. He is coming off a game last week where he threw for 288 yards and 4 TDs. Baker Mayfield in week 16, 312 total yards, 3 TDs, an interception, good for 23.2 fantasy points in week 16. Start Chef Boy R. Baker or meet your fantasy maker. Yeah. Let's go. So fantasy world, y'all know I had to tighten up the game a little bit. I know y'all tired of seeing the Detroit and the Bears and the San Francisco jerseys, man. Y'all know who I went and got. Jamar Chase, baby. #1 receiver in the league. Y'all know what it is. That's right. Salute to service as well. Y'all see the green camouflage, man. Shouts out to my son in the building right now, Bryce Marion, fresh out of the Navy. That's right. Put in a nice 4 years, man. He's back home getting his life together. Y'all know what it is, man. Shouts out to my boy Brycey. Hey, #4 player that you have got to get in your lineups in week 16. Keenan Allen. Bear down. Keenan Allen going against Detroit, ranked 27th right now against the receiver and giving up fantasy points this year. Caleb and Keenan been a hot connection these past 4 games. I see the continuity building, and what I've also seen is Keenan Allen has become his favorite red zone target. Let's talk about it. Red zone, 4 TDs in the last 4 games for Keenan Allen, averaging 6 catches per game in the last 4 games. Matchup versus Detroit is going to be sweet. The Bears will have to pass the ball. Detroit is giving up 234 yards per game. That is ranked 26th overall in the NFL. In week 16, Keenan Allen, 10 targets, 7 receptions, 87 yards, and 2 TDs. That's right, you heard it here from the soup. 24.2 fantasy points if you want a fantasy win and you want to go to the championship in the fantasy playoffs. Start TD Allen. Yeah. And our #5 player you have got to get in your lineups this week, Chuba Hubbard. That's right, man. Old Chuba versus Arizona this week, 26th versus the running back and giving up fantasy points in 2024. Last 6 games, 119 touches for this guy. He is averaging 20 touches per game in the last 6 games. How many times you think he gonna touch the ball against a piss poor run defense? Just, hey, I ain't here to tell you what to do. I'm here to tell you what it is. Facts, not feelings. Chuba Hubbard averaging 83 yards per game in the last 6 games, averaging 20 touches per game and 5 TDs in the last 6 games. 2 weeks ago, Arizona just gave up 193 yards and 2 tutties to Zach Charbonnet. Earlier in the year, they gave up 225 yards and 2 TDs to Monty and Gibbs combo versus Detroit. They gave up 147 yards and a TD to Achin. They gave up 103 yards to Cook. They gave up 113 and a TD to B. Rob Jr. Heavy volume backs do well versus Arizona. Chuba Hubbard in week 16, 22 touches, 111 yards, a touchdown, 18.6 fantasy points in week 16. If you want that fantasy win, start Surfboard Hubbard. Yeah. Those are our top 5 starts for week 16. Come check us out on our next episode of Top 5 Sits. Do not set those lineups until you hear both of these shows. It's your boy Hot Soup coming to you live. Like us on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Like and subscribe. If you have any issues with your lineups, Inbox me on that comment section. I get back with you within 24 hours. It's your boy, Soupy. And I'm out.